Alright, so in this video, I want to talk about creating a silo structure. So if you don't know what a silo structure is yet, let me introduce what an internal link is first. So an internal link is a link to another page on your website. So you're linking from one page on your website to another page. Pretty simple stuff. It's just internal linkage, just linking between pages to make it easier for the visitors or linking to relevant articles and stuff like that are on your own website. So a silo structure basically is a way of organizing internal links for usability, but also to push link juice to the most important pages. So let me just give you an example because that may sound a little bit technical if you don't know what I'm talking about right now. Well, let's say you have a plumbing company in London that's your client, or you literally run a plumbing company in London and this is your own website. Doesn't really matter at this point. So the moment you have a few backlinks going to your website, you have 3 different backlinks going to your website now, and all of the links are currently pointed to the homepage, which makes sense because you're trying to rank for plumbing in London. So it makes sense that all the power is pointing here. The problem is that if you have these other pages that you want to rank, then all the power is currently on the homepage is not really being split that well. So what you do is you build out these other pages like boilers, heating, and washing machine breakdown. Assuming you actually wanted to rank for these, I'm just making this up as we go along. I don't know if you actually want to rank for these, but if you did, now you had these other pages up and you had links on these pages from the content of the homepage. You have links to these pages from the content area of the homepage. Now the link juice is being spread out, so it's coming in to the homepage from these backlinks, and it's being spread through links to these other pages, through internal links to these other pages. So now it's being spread out and sent to these other pages as well. Now, if these pages were to link back to the homepage, and they also were to acquire link juice of their own, so people start like the backlinks now coming into the washing machine breakdown page and to the boilers page, now it's also sending link juice back to the homepage again, which makes sense. So it's now sharing it back to the homepage and they're sharing it with each other because they're both very important pages to rank. Now, if you went out there and did the next step, which in this case would be to build supporting pages for each of these topics. So we want to build more relevancy to the idea of boilers, to heating and washing machine breakdown, because the website in itself is just generally about plumbing in London, I think I said the example was. So what we're going to do is build out all these extra pages, and then from here, we're going to build links from all these different supporting pages back to the main topic, because we want this boilers page to rank. We don't want these supporting pages to rank. So the supporting pages, what I mean, is going to be an article like something around about boilers in London or something like that. So we're going to have to build a relevant article to some very specific type. So maybe a specific type of boiler they do, or a specific type of boiler repair service, something like that. In London, it's going to be relevant to boilers in London, and it's not going to be duplicate content. It's going to be like talking about a slightly different factor, a slightly different area of it. And then all these pages, like 4 of them in this example, are going to link back to the boilers page. So the boilers page is going to link to each of these individual pages as extra articles, and these pages are going to link back to it. What this does is it builds up relevancy. It shows that this website is also about boilers. If you just had one page about boilers, it's probably not that relevant to boilers. If you have 4 or 5 pages now about boilers, then it probably is. And you do the same for heating and washing machine breakdown and stuff. This is basically a silo structure where if you look back, so what would happen at the top is the homepage would have all these links coming into it. Then it would link to the boilers page, the heating page, the washing machine breakdown page, because we also want to rank these with different terms. Then you have all the supporting pages, which link to and from the boilers page, the heating page, and the washing machine page, to build up that relevancy there and just to power up the specific pages that you want to rank. Notice how the boiler supporting pages never link to the heating supporting pages and never link to the washing machine breakdown pages and so on. These never link to each other because we don't want to power them up in that structure. We want to have all these boiler supporting pages powering up the boiler page because it's relevant to the same topic. Likewise, we want all the heating supporting pages only to link to the heating pages because they're all relevant to the same topic. Hopefully that makes sense. That's basically what you're doing there, is having relevant articles linking to each other, and you're linking in a very deliberate way to help people out firstly, and secondly to spread link juice to the right pages and relevant link juice also. So there's different ways of doing this. That's just one way of doing it. Here's another way you can look at if you were ranking the same sort of site. So if you weren't planning on ranking a homepage, what you do is you wouldn't link back to the homepage. So you have these pages coming off of it where the homepage is just the main page, like for usability and everything like that. Then from there, you have a link to the plumbing page, which is about plumbing in London. You have a link to the boilers page, which is about boilers in London, or boiler repair in London, whatever it is. You have a link to the heating page, which is about heating in London, heating services. And you have a link to the washing machine breakdown page. Now, these don't need to link back to the homepage because you have zero interest whatsoever in ranking the homepage. So at this point, all the link juice that's going into the homepage, or as much of it as you can pass anyway, is being spread to these 4 pages. And then from there, what you do is you link like this. You'd have a link to all the supporting pages. And again, you can do it in a different way. The last way was different to this. In this way, not only does the plumbing page link to all the supporting pages and they all link back, in this example, each of the supporting pages links to each other. So supporting page number 1 links to supporting page number 2, and supporting page number 3 links to page number 4, and 4 links back to the homepage, and so on. Basically, you're linking them all together, which is totally fine if they're relevant as well. It doesn't really matter. You just spread the juice all the way through them to number 4, then it links back to the main one. That's a totally acceptable model to do. Also, you can do the same for the boilers and stuff. This isn't hugely important. The main thing is here, guys, is that the plumbing supporting pages never link to the boiler supporting pages, and so on. Likewise, the plumbing page never links to the boiler page never links to the heating page never links to the washing machine breakdown page. Hope that makes sense. So that's basically how that works. There's different ways of linking it, as long as you have a deliberate architecture where you're spreading the link juice down one specific niche, one specific type of keyword. Then from there, you can get really in depth if you want. You can add as much depth as you need really to your silos. So for example here, if you wanted to have the homepage, which was ranking also, then you have a plumbing page, a heating page, and a kitchen/bathroom renovation page. Then from there, you have different plumbing services that you want to rank for. So you could literally, off of each of these servers, also have like 4 or 5 supporting pages. So I did it in the plumbing one from service 2, it has 5 supporting pages off of that. Then in the kitchen and bathroom ones, the service 3, I think, has like 5 supporting pages off of that. And if you really wanted to, you could have every single one of these services, all these 4 services under plumbing would have 5 supporting pages. Under heating, which doesn't show because they didn't have enough space, would have like 3 services, and then all of them would have 5 supporting pages off it. And kitchen/bathroom renovations have 4 services off it, and then 5 supporting pages for each of the 4 services. It can get pretty insane. It can get really advanced. It can have a lot of content. You can have a really big authority site. It really depends on what you're trying to build. If you're trying to build like a local client site, like a local plumbing site, then go back to the earlier structure we covered here, like where is it? Like this sort of thing would work pretty well. You don't need to get too fancy, but if you want to build a really big authority site, it's going to get really fancy like this. You're going to have a lot of pages linking in a structure similar to this. Notice again how they're not cross-linking. The plumbing never links to the heating section. The heating never links to the kitchen/bathroom renovation silo. They're all separate silos as part of one big structure. Now, as an example, I put it in the text below. You can see that one of the services, so under plumbing, one of the service names could be like leaking taps. So you could have leaking taps coming off of plumbing. Then you have like 5 supporting pages relevant to the leaking taps also. So it gives that relevancy to that topic there. Hope that doesn't overcomplicate things. Now, let's take one step further and see another way that kind of separates the silo a little bit. And what that is your blog post. So if you have a separate blog on your website, then you can also link to basically any pages within those blocks. So you have the main silo structure here, which is basically built out of 3 silos: a boiler silo, a heating silo, and washing machine silo, a washing machine breakdown silo. And these are all very deliberately linked. They never link to each other, stuff like that. Whereas the blog posts, they can literally link to basically any page in the silo. They can link to... Now, here's what you normally do firstly, guys. You normally wouldn't link to the supporting pages. You can if it's more relevant, but generally speaking, rather than linking to the supporting page, you would link to the main topic pages. So you link to the washing machine breakdown page, you link to the heating page, you link to the boilers page, because that's the page that you want to rank. So it makes more sense to point your internal links at those pages. The supporting pages are just to add some more relevancy to that page itself. So I hope that answers some of the questions about silo structures. It's basically just deliberately linking within your website to pages that you want to rank, but doing it within specific categories. So boilers category, heating category, washing machine category. Just like this example shown, it can get really in-depth like this, or it can be really simple like something like this that you're looking at right now. So before we end this video, I want to cover a few rules that are really gonna just really important that you follow this, because otherwise you're gonna really mess it up. So the first thing is don't interlink separate silos. meaning the boilers one, the washing machine breakdowns one, never link the pages together. I think I already covered that before, which is very, very important that you don't link these separate silos together. The other thing is that you don't want to overfill your menus, so don't put all your supporting pages in the menu. Don't put like everything you possibly can. Like, don't stuff all the links in the menu. Focus on usability first, so don't take something out of the menu because of SEO purposes. Like, don't remove it from the menu because it's important that it's there because it's just for usability. But if it doesn't need to be there, then don't add it there. Especially the supporting pages, they definitely don't need to be in the menu. And also, you want to use contextual links to create silo structures. What I mean by contextual links is links within the content area, not the sidebar, not the menu, not the footer. Contextual links within your content. And another thing you want to be careful of, guys, is not to over-optimize your anchor text. In the past, you used to be able to use the exact anchor text you want to rank for internal linking, and it didn't really matter. These days, it does, so just make sure that you don't over-optimize it. We'll cover more on anchor text and everything later in the training, but just make sure you're not linking the exact anchor text that you want to rank for, the exact keyword as the anchor text that you want to rank for. Mix it up and just play it safe, don't over-optimize it there. Now, we covered this in the silo structures, but what I recommend is for every single page you want to rank, create around 4 to 5 supporting pages, basically relevant to that topic to build up some more relevancy to that topic. So we go back to the structures here, and we see it has boilers and it has 4 supporting pages, so 4 pages about boilers, because it builds up relevancy to that topic of boilers. If you rank it for boilers in London, then you also want to build up relevancy to London, so the pages would be around boilers and London, relevant to both topics, so it builds up some relevancy. Alright, that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I'll see you in the next one.